trust. And anytime we get a perception that's wrong, I feel like I need to let everybody know Will Smith is not coming. This is as good as it's going to get right here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I will also share with you that anytime I see any piece of that film, I have the exact same thought. Those people spent $70 million to recreate what I did with nothing. That is amazing to me. As a result of the incredible success of the film and the book, I am frequently asked many of the same questions by people all over the world. Questions like, could you do it again? See, if you could change any of the painful things in your past, would you? No. What would you be doing today? I'll tell you. I'd like to expand my answers to those questions and a few others and make it all directly related to the current reality. Is this microphone working okay? Am I okay? Can you hear me out here? Yes. I think before I go any further, I must say that the parts of my life that I'm going to share with you happened in the United States. But during the most important, challenging, and empowering moments of your life, where you are on the planet is secondary to where you are in your spirit. Meaning, the parts of my life that I'm going to share with you today could have easily have happened in Milan, Miami, or Mexico. Could you do it again? Given the global financial crises, political polarization, and a jacked up anxiety index, could you do it again? See, there are so many similarities between what the world looks like today and the part of my life depicted in the film. In the film is the early 1980s, 1982 to be exact. The United States was mired in a recession, the greatest one then since World War II. Terms like deficit and deficit financing have become part of our normal everyday conversations. The U.S. trade deficit had just gone over $1 trillion for the very first time. The unemployment rate was 10.9%. Ronald Reagan was president. The safety net for those most in need and educational programs have begun to become strained. And we began to see homelessness become a major issue in the United States. Fast forward to where we are today. The world is again facing major issues, primarily due to the global financial crises, which in my opinion is the result of greed on Wall Street. We have in fact seen the creation, I don't know the numbers right here in Mexico, but we have in fact seen the creation of a whole new class of homeless people in America. Something that I call white-collar homeless. Went to school, worked hard, played by the rules, and the world changed. With all that as a frame, I'd like to expand my answers to the previously mentioned questions and a few others. Well, first of all, I have to say this. As great as the film was, it was about 1 year of my life. One critical year. I was 28 years old. Meaning that there were 27 years before that. And if I had not gotten what Chuck gave, one of the world's greatest jazz players, once called the right stuff, I would have never made it. I call it something else. I call it spiritual genetics. We all understand genetics. You're going to get to the other side, the father's knows, and there's nothing that you can do about it. But the spirit of who you're going to become as a man or a woman, I believe that you can choose. It is indeed biblical. Scripture tells us that we're all born with a spirit that allows us to embrace God, whatever you perceive God to be. But that same spirit can't be beaten down in the darkness. In order to own the term spiritual genetics, I had to submit a definition of it to the people of Webster's Dictionary. My submission: spiritual genetics, that which makes you you, that has nothing to do with anatomy, biology, chemistry, or physics. The part of you that cannot be analyzed, quantified, or measured. That part of you that has nothing to do with DNA, blood type, or pigmentation. The part of you that is beyond the scope, reach, or understanding of science, medicine, and technology. It's very interesting. There's a school of thought that says that we are all products of our environment. I don't know how many of you all read my first book, The Pursued of Happyness, but those of you who did, you met my stepfather. And there's a school of thought that says that, again, we're all products of our environment. According to that school of thought, I should have become him. I should have become another alcoholic, white-eating, child-abusing, illiterate loser. And a lot of folks would have said, well, look where he's from. He didn't have a choice. Well, I did have a choice. I saw the light in my mother and in others with whom I did not share a single drop of blood. Seeing and embracing, those are two separate actions. Now, some folks are going to say, Chris, aren't you just talking about extended family? No, I'm not. Because just like you can have a dysfunctional family, you can have a dysfunctional extended family, which is even worse because you chose those people. I need to elaborate just a little here when I say I could have become my stepfather. This man was fondly reminding me every day, I ain't your daddy. You ain't got no daddy. Sometimes he put a 12-gauge shotgun right here just to make his point. I didn't know what a commitment was, but I knew what a promise was. And I promised myself as a 5-year-old boy, when I grow up, become a man, and have children, my children are going to know who their father is. Let me say that another way. I'll make the decision that if I had to sleep in a public restroom with my child tied on my back as a 28-year-old man, I made that decision as a 5-year-old boy that had become part of my spiritual genetics. Scientists can take a single strand of your hair, a speck of your flesh, a dab of your saliva, one drop of your blood, and she can place it under the microscope. And it will tell her some very important things about you with a high degree of accuracy. Your age, your race, your sex, the color of your eyes, any predisposition to sickness, illness, or disease. But there is nothing a scientist can place under a microscope that will tell them why you became who you are as a man or a woman. The technology to measure that does not exist. Let's take it a step further.